Listen, buddy, if you want people to actually start giving a fuck about your music, what you need to do is you need to learn how to build a cult-like fan base. Now, this is something that none of these dumb ass fucking fan base building YouTubers are ever going to talk about in detail because it's kind of controversial, it's kind of manipulative. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to teach you how to build a cult-like fan base in this video. I'm going to teach you all of the tactics that you need to use to quite literally psychologically manipulate people into liking your music more. So right now, if you feel like no one gives a fuck what you say, you feel like they don't care to listen to you, you feel like they don't listen to your music a lot, and you're just getting no attention, this is what you need to learn. Now, before I start the video, please, just a quick plug, because I'm doing this video for completely free. It would help me a lot because I'm giving you a lot of free value in this video if you literally could just take 5 seconds of your time to just follow me on Instagram right here. I literally just want to be the most followed person in my city. I'm really close to it. I'm like a few hundred followers off. It would help me a lot because I want to be the alpha male in my city, bro. I don't give a fuck. I got big muscles. I just want to be the alpha male in my city so I can DM every girl and pull every bitch in the city. So if you want to help me, please, brother, just follow my ad on screen. Now, we all know this dude on screen. He's very notorious for having a cult-like fan base. But what does he actually do that gives him a fan base that's so cult-like? Well, there's multiple things and I'm going to cover all of them, but probably the most important is a very, very, very difficult thing to implement. However, probably one of, if not the most important things that you need to have in order to build a cult-like fan base, and it's to build your own genre and have an aura around you that people can confide into. Now, if we look at all three of these people right here, what do they all have in common? Other than the fact that they're all dead, they have very, very crazy fan bases. And if we look at all of them as individuals, they created music that was unique and was never heard before, thus meaning that they kind of created their own genre. Now, I'm not saying that they invented rap or rock or any of this shit. They didn't actually invent genres per se, but they had a unique style behind them that stood out, and this is very, very, very important for building a cult-like fan base. Now, along with the actual genre of the music, you need to have an aesthetic that you follow. Now, not in some cringe way, but you need to morph your personality on social media into something that people want to actually live through. Now, this is where it gets manipulative and psychological, but for all three of these people here, what they had in common was that they had personalities that they lived out on social media, and the personalities that they showed resonated with certain people, and because people resonated with their personalities, they felt like that they were able to live through the artist in a way where they saw an aspect of themselves in the artist itself, and then this increases the emotional bond that someone has with the artist. I use Cardi as an example. Why do people actually treat him like a god so fucking much? Well, obviously he has his own unique style and genre, and this is good, but more importantly, he has a huge persona that he puts on to make him seem like a god with a mysterious aura behind him. And because people just love to be mysterious and preys on insecure teenagers who think that it's very cool to be like that, people want to live through him and use him as some sort of lifestyle piece where their own life now revolves around Cardi because he has that aura and mysteriousness, and that's what people want. Now, what does this actually create in people's brain when you have this aura like Cardi does? It's called the us versus them mentality. And this is one of the key elements to building a cult-like fan base. Us versus them is essentially what it says. You want to create this movement sort of thing that people relate to and that people emotionally invest into and that people want to live out. And once you have that, it creates this mentality of us versus them. So what does this sound like? It literally sounds like in people's brains, people that don't listen to Cardi aren't as cool as us. People that don't listen to Cardi don't understand us. People that don't listen to Cardi, we're above them. People who do not listen to Cardi are below us. People who do not listen to Cardi are not cooler than us. We're more mysterious. Now, one of the key ways that you can actually implement getting an us versus them mentality out of people is by specifically talking down on other people. But I don't specifically mean just actually going out of your fucking way to talk shit about people. But what I do recommend is subtly making it clear that you are above others. Your movement is better than other movements and you are cooler than others, and people who listen to your music are better than everyone else. So however you want to implement this is up to you, but it's not even really necessary, because a lot of the time, if you have a good enough aura or aesthetic to you, people will just kind of follow it anyway, because it's just part of human nature. Now, the next thing that you need to do if you ever expect to build a cult-like fan base is you need to be evoking emotion. If you are not triggering certain people and saying things that actually polarize people into two groups, actually offending some people, you will never get a fan base of people who actually agree with what you are saying, because you are just fucking boring. No one follows a person who's in the middle with everything. People like Andrew Tate, for example, as soon as he says some sort of a take where people freak out, but then he softens the blow by kind of neutralizing it a little bit, he would not have the fans that he has. And this is a really simple tip. I mean, you see it with Andrew Tate, you see it with whoever else is very controversial. It's an all or nothing thing. You can't just be in the middle with things, because it's just fucking boring. Now, the next tactic that I recommend that you implement is isolation. Now, for music, isolation isn't actually really possible. However, there is a way to slightly use it to our advantage. So normally for an actual cult, what they would do is they would isolate the victim from anyone around them, meaning like friends and family and things like that. And then they would talk down on those people and say that this is the only way to live. And they would make them declare in their own mind that it was the truth. Ideally, the way that this would work, which is not really possible, but it would be to get them to stop listening to every other music artist and only you. Obviously, not really gonna happen, but we want to get as close as we can to that as possible if we do want them to be more of a cult-like fan. So we want to figure out a way to replicate this for our music. The way that I would recommend that you do this is by consistently telling people that they need to be following along with our movement, and they need to stay the fuck away from other people. You need to somehow, some way, specifically tell people that no other artists are as good as you, and if anyone expects to be a fan of you, they need to not listen to any of the other rappers that are similar. In their mind, they need to be obsessing over you. You are the only one to exist to them, and you are the best one, and you are their god. Now, I'm honestly not sure how you could implement this, because it's just a very hard thing with music in general. So this is kind of like a lesser tip that I don't really know how you would want to use this. I feel like this would just kind of backfire and maybe get you a lot of hate if you tried to do this one, but I did want to put it in there because it is part of, cult-like fan bases. It's just isolating them from people around them. Now, you may have been wondering up to this point how you can actually start to get fans in the first place, so that you can actually start to manipulate them into becoming a cult-like fan, because you can't just do this to thin air. I mean, you need some sort of momentum where you actually have fans coming in and listening to your music, and then you manipulate them into becoming a cult-like fan. And so how do you actually get that? I made a completely free course that you can get access to, where I show you the best current way of building a music fan base, and all you have to do to get it is just click the first link in the description, and you can get it for completely free. You just sign up. I'll add you right into the community when you make an account, and then inside of there's a classroom section where you can get access to this free course, and I teach you exactly how to build your music fan base right now. Now, with that being said, if you want me to go a little bit more into detail on this whole topic, I absolutely can. I'll lay it out in like a better way, a higher effort way. If you do want me to do that, just go DM me on Instagram and tell me that this video was helpful for you. Try to implement these things. I promise you, I've read books on building cults. I've read books on religion. I've studied this stuff. These are tactics you should implement. I guarantee you implement them, you'll see that you're getting more diehard fans. Now, if I get a lot of DMs, I will remake this video, and I will make it way more in detail, and I'll teach you actual tactics you should implement into your own music. I just wanted to make this very simple video because I want to help you guys out. I remember struggling with fucking building a fan base and watching these dumbass YouTubers who literally just tell you the most basic shit, like the most dumb advice where it wasn't actually anything unique. It was just repeated and recycled. And I actually care about you guys. I want to fucking help you guys out. So I just wanted to make this quick video and give you like some very quick, easy tips that you could implement and start to apply to building your music fan base. So just go DM me on Instagram, follow me so I can be the most followed person in my city, and tell me what you're struggling with in the DMs, and I'll make a video on it if I get a lot of DMs about it. So anyway, thanks for watching. I love you, bro.